Hi, and welcome to the Industrial Kingdom podcast, the manufacturing and agriculture show of the MENA region. I am Valerie Zakka, the founder of the Industrial Kingdom Consulting Services, offering professional consultancy to manufacturing and agriculture businesses in the MENA region. Today, we are filming from a new location, so thank you for being here. And we have a very special guest, Mr. Sumer Daou. Welcome, Sumer.
Thank you.
So we are here with Sumer to discuss a brand new topic for the industrial kingdom, which is we are delving into green hydrogen, right? Sumer is a marine industrial, and he has formed the only Arab team. If you want decarbonizing the
sea.
maritime industry in the MENA region, and they are based in Lebanon. Right. So welcome, Sumer. Thank you for being here.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Welcome.
And maybe we could start with introducing hydrogen a bit. What is hydrogen and why are we in this field?
Before, we want you to introduce yourself, a bit of who you are, your path, and then we will get to the topic which you represent.
Okay. So I'm a civil environmental engineer by trade, graduate from AUB a while ago, but my entire career was in the maritime industry. And we have a long hands-on experience on the industrial side of manufacturing things at sea.
What?
Like floating islands, floating structures, steel structures, special hulls, very large fiberglass structures.
Nice.
You might know some of the products in Lebanon. We built, manufactured and installed the largest saint statue. It's sitting on one of the highest peaks in Lebanon, so this is my work.
Which one? Really?
The Saint Charbel one.
Okay.
So this is one of the main products that people know about. Most of the others are not in the markets. It's a very niche market, so I understand that people don't know what we're doing, but in the maritime sector, we have a solid background.
Mm-hmm. And how did you get into that?
It's my father's thing, let's say. He started research on floating structures in 1980. We built the prototype. I was 13 years old. I actually built the prototype with him, and I learned the tricks of the trade, made the testing. And by the time we started the industry, I was just graduated from AUB.
Mm-hmm.
And we obtained the approval in principle from the highest maritime society in Paris the second day of my graduation from AUB.
Wow.
So I've been involved in this at a very young age. So when I say some people jokingly say I have 42 years of experience. Well, that's my age because I was hands-on at a very early stage.
Yeah.
It's a unique experience. It has its ups and downs, but it pays off when you're sitting with the expert and you're talking the maritime sector. I know what my capacity is.
بس إنه من 1980 your dad started that. Wasn't that like really? Was he pioneering basically?
It was very pioneering, and the demand was not as ready as it is today.
Exactly, and now
it's the
everyone
right
is
time
looking
to
for
enter.
something. Yeah.
So our added value is that we started early, and it kind of took so long because the market was not ready.
Yeah.
Now the market is it's very prime for those who know where we are heading, mainly in maritime decarbonization.
Mm-hmm.
So the sea will be cleaner, hopefully, much faster than anything else because it's very well regulated.
Uh-huh.
When you're looking to decarbonize anything, you have to look at the law. If you're looking at buildings or cars, each country or each village may have its own law. It's very difficult to have a uniform shift.
Mm-hmm.
The beauty of the sea, there is only one law. So once
around the world?
Around the world. So once the IMO, the International Maritime Organization, such a regulation, every boat in the world must abide to. And the law is already there. In 2030, we must decarbonize. Mm-hmm. The agreements have been already made. The carbon tax is very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody is now looking for an alternative fuel. And this is where green hydrogen comes into play. And I will let you lead the question. So
tell us a bit, how did that shift towards hydrogen come about?
We are a very small country, and we are narrow in width, and we have a very long coastline. And I was looking in what can I do in my background and my know-how that I can sell, export, so we have additional income, and to work from Lebanon, because it was a large team and we need work in Lebanon. So I was scouting the potential market, where to go to build chips, to build floating structures. And I noticed the decarbonization move, and it's something huge.
When, around what time was that?
It was actually 2 years ago. And I spent 1 year researching the decarbonization. And I found out that hydrogen is the most interesting molecule to address. And this is how the floating hydrogen ports concept came. I wrote a white paper of 9 pages explaining what I'm doing, and I'm heading to it. It got the attention of the highest, the Monaco Hydrogen Alliance. It's the highest forum on hydrogen in the world in Monaco. So the white paper caught their attention.
How did you get to them?
Through LinkedIn.
Okay.
So
nice.
Yeah, through LinkedIn.
I am total believer in the power of LinkedIn connections.
Yeah.
Like I see
very professional. Very professional. So I invited there as a speaker to present this concept. And I made a very cool video. Well, I think it's cool. But it was at the same time crazy. It's a very far-fetched idea. So we pitched large floating platform in the middle of Atlantic and Pacific to refuel ships with green hydrogen.
Nice.
It's a 3-minute video. And I spoke for 51 seconds afterwards because I don't speak much usually. I'm getting used to these kind of interviews. And the reaction at the room was a mixed feeling. So everybody clapped, it's politically correct. But then at the side room, people said, "You're crazy, it's too soon. It's 10 years ahead of the time." Others said, "Well, it's smart, but try to scale it down." And that was the best advice I listened to.
Scaling down?
Scaling down.
And usually everyone's saying, scalability, how scalable is it? Scale up.
So although you like to scale up, but it's very difficult to enter the market scaling up. You have to find the smallest market you can enter to, scale it down, focus, and penetrate that market. So I came back the next year with the C-Ring. And the C-Ring is a cool solution. It's a 33-meter diameter floating platform that makes green hydrogen from wind, wave, and solar energy.
Nice.
And while we were researching that, we discovered that the entire European Commission has been funding research for 20 years to integrate renewable energy at sea with aquaculture and coastal tourism.
Okay.
Because the sea is expensive. To build anything at sea, you are tackling high waves. In the Mediterranean, there are 8-meter wave. In the Atlantic, 25-meter wave. Let's stay in the Mediterranean. So when you're building a structure for 8-meter wave, it cannot be a small matchbox. It has to be of minimum size. And once you build the structure that can take a lot of buoyancy and weight, you have the interest to make as much economical income to make it viable.
To optimize the construction. Otherwise, it's just for a recharging station. It would be a waste.
So you have the space, you have the weight, you can carry more weight. So whatever you can integrate, if it's function, let's do it. And the research is there. I didn't invent it. I built on it. And I used the know-how we had acquired from the floating island technology. And I presented this hearing. And the idea of this small solution came from the leading aquaculture institute in the Mediterranean from Crete. They told me, make it so small and put the aquaculture part. So this is where food industry comes in. So when you build this floating platform, we don't use anything underwater for what we are doing. But it's there. We have a pound-shaped circular thing that we're not using. Just add
we will show it in the video.
So just add a fish net, then you have aquaculture. And the innovative part for aquaculture, today with modern aquaculture, you need to monitor what's happening with the fish. So you'd love to have a small camera and some sensors. With traditional aquaculture, this is not possible because you don't have the power source. For us, the energy is there. We can simply supply the aquaculture technology with any sensors or monitoring equipment they have, and they link it to Starlink.
So now you have a traceability system
for aquaculture.
Nice.
And this is the first grant we applied for. So we applied for Interreg NextMed with a consortium of European universities, European companies, and Lebanese and Egyptian entities to make REA. That's the name of the consortium. You know, in Europe, you have to name your consortium.
Yeah.
So REA is the Ring for Hybrid Energy and Innovative Aquaculture.
That's a good name. It's catchy. One
Thank
would
you.
think it's like a girl's name,
It
someone's
is.
daughter's name.
It is, definitely. And this ring basically makes green hydrogen from wave, wind, and solar panels with aquaculture underwater. And we can have on the deck any, like a small bar or a boutique hotel, we can accommodate that. It depends where we're installing it. Now, let me go back to what is green hydrogen, how to make it. Because
Before, to continue on the hotel part and the amenities that would be part of that ring, how will the clients view that? Isn't this a bit like, I don't know, like it would be scary? Would there be like a...
it is very new.
Yeah, like would they be brave enough to go spend a week there?
It's an amazing question.
Now you're telling me that, and I'm like, would I? Mean, I'm adventurous, but I wouldn't go. Maybe. How would you make it accessible to them?
You're tackling the mindset of this project, and this is the most difficult thing to address. So typically, when you say hydrogen, you think energy, big platforms, yachting, noisy. So because people don't know what is hydrogen, they think it's going to be something very odd. So the beauty of hydrogen, it's silent. The entire process, you don't notice it. It's odorless, it's silent. You will not know what's happening. You have the energy, but it's completely unaware of it.
I see.
So
now maybe you should tell us, how did the industry switch to and go towards hydrogen, and how is green hydrogen made? Okay.
The switch came because of the cost of logistics at sea. So if you want to make this floating island, let's say, I made this floating platform made of steel, fiberglass, whatever, it's stable, I put it in the water, far from shore. You need electricity, you need fresh water, you need services. If you want to do this the conventional way, it's going to be expensive to each time you want to have oil or diesel to bring a bunker to come and refuel the station. So it's smarter to find a source of energy that is convenient and sustainable. So we looked at available lithium, sand batteries, gravitational systems. There are so many ideas floating around. And discovered that since we are on water, and hydrogen is water H2O, and hydrogen that's the H. If you can find an economic way to make hydrogen, it's the best system to have on water. Secondly, you need cooling. Hydrogen required cooling as well. So if you are offshore, it's the best location to access a large body of water without contaminating the temperature for breeding grounds for the fish. So this is why creating hydrogen or generating hydrogen, that's a better term, offshore is much more environmental than anything you put on land.
Yeah.
You're talking a huge volume of water for the entire system to operate, not just to make the hydrogen. And then we started looking at the industry. Who is making wave generators, who is making solar panels suitable for sea, who is making wind turbines that function without maintenance at sea. It's a corrosive environment.
Yeah.
And it turned out the solutions are there, but they are not connected. There is no proper system integration. So my project or my role is the system integration, the system engineering, to have the cost for the client affordable. So can reach 2 or 3 euros per kilogram of hydrogen. And for that, we had to find the best electrolyzer, the best freshwater maker, the best fuel cell, the best tank, the best system. Are we making high pressure hydrogen, low pressure liquid? So I don't want to make this a technical conversation. It will be very difficult for people to understand. But we screened everything. And surprisingly, we find Lebanese and Arabs across the sector.
Really?
So in the leading research facilities in Europe, in automotive, in hydrogen itself, in storage and robotics, you will find Lebanese, my generation, in the mid-30s, mid-40s, at a very serious advanced research stage. And they are happy in the intellectual environment they are. But everybody has to come back to Lebanon and contribute somehow to our industry, our economy. And to contribute to Lebanon at this scale, you have to address an export market. The market in Lebanon is absurdly small. We all know it. And even the MENA region for this scale of industry is small. You have to start international. And the beauty of the maritime sector, it is international. The moment you're in the water, you float, you can go anywhere.
So now, being in Lebanon is not like a hindrance, because you're working according to the world, to the whole world's legal framework. Right?
It's a big advantage.
Why? Tell us.
Okay.
One of the few times I hear someone saying that industry is a big advantage. I know we are industrial, but usually we hear more about the obstacles. And
we had this chart yesterday. It's good to refresh it a bit. Yeah. So most industries, traditionally speaking, in Lebanon, are food industries, cosmetics, or something you can sell locally or to our neighbors. And this is something very difficult to export unless we have something special, which is not often the case. And typically, this is a huge machine that has few operators. So the labor cost is not intensive, is not something a game changer in this industry. When you're looking at the maritime sector, you have to address it like an artisanal, like a workshop, like a jewelry, something very labor intensive, very high skilled labor. You need special welders, special fabrics technicians, special mechanical, special lathe operators. And this labor is very expensive in Europe and the States, and not so available. While in Lebanon, we have excellent skilled workers. And to give you a comparison, for example, in fiberglass, a fiberglass technician will take in France about 350 euros per day. Will take in Lebanon $35 per day. So that's
really?
1/10.
And that's a skilled work.
Yes. And the availability in Lebanon is much more than in Europe. Don't ask me why, because I've been addressed by many companies in Europe to supply them with Lebanese skilled labor. And with the complexity of the environment with regard to immigration today, what is happening in the world, you don't want, and Europe doesn't want really to have more people from our side of the world without going into the politics side of it. And if you read the entire literature of the European Commission grant structure and finance mechanism, they want you to develop your country.
Yeah.
They are pushing towards sending funding here. What's happening, we are not capturing, and the investors in the region are not capturing the right places to put the money in. They are looking more into the traditional side of investment. Yeah. And we're doing pure innovation, which is my case. We are at the far edge of innovation. First, it's difficult to read. You don't have the expertise, and I don't blame. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. If you now make a due diligence, a technical due diligence on me, there is no one qualified to do it. You have to bring an expert from Europe to check my work. And this is something expensive, and very few people know how to do it.
How about your team?
Okay. So my team, half of us met by accident. And the other half are friends who grew up in Lebanon, who had innovative ideas, who tried to launch from here. All of us passed, by the way, by Veritech or SwitchMed or Fondation. We were the best. We were selected first in our year. And when we got to the pitching phase, we had an amazing pitch, but no investment. Not because we're doing wrong, because nobody could understand this or formulate a way to address it. And now with a bunch of us, we're like a unnamed community who are forced to launch outside Lebanon. I have incorporated in Greece, a friend of mine is in Algeria, another is looking to the Gulf market, because nobody could understand what we're doing here or invest a bit more of pocket money. And we're saying pocket money. Our pocket money is bigger than a seed round for the local startups. And this is where it becomes problematic. So we're looking for a few $100,000 for pocket money for what we're talking about. This is the normal numbers. So half of my team are these people
based
from
in
Lebanon. The other half are expats.
So you have people handling different aspects of the project that are all involved in the hydrogen.
It is a team that is not in one office. And today, because of the laptop,
you can't be in this one office.
Exactly, and it's even better for us.
Definitely.
And this opened an excellent financing door. So the grant financing in Europe is consortium based. And you cannot get financing for a person. You must have a company.
Yeah.
And it's better to, or not only better, you have to have a number of companies working together, each in a specific field, to apply and get the grant for a consortium. And I'm going to be a bit specific, something might interest you as well. So the highest grants in Europe are the Innovation Fund and the EU Horizon. I was one of 200 startups selected by the Innovation Fund to go to Belgium, to the Shell Charlemagne, to present what is the Innovation Fund, to understand it. So the Innovation Fund starts at 2.5 million, up to 100 million. You can get a grant of $100 million for your company.
This is the kind of ticket you are talking about for your project.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So how this is structured? The grant is made for investors, not for innovators. To get the grant, you must have 40% of the capital committed, not spent. So you have to find an investor, convince him this is good, take a letter of intent that we will pay 40%, and the grant body will give you 60%.
Yeah.
You apply. It's a very serious, very selective process. It takes about 1 year to get accepted. Once you're accepted, then you can disperse the money from the investor and from the grant at the same time. What does this mean? The European Commission is de-risking the investor, is doing the due diligence on the financial and technical side instead of him, and telling him, unless we accept you, you don't have to spend anything, just show that you have the money.
Nice.
So this is the first phase. The second phase, and this is something I love to share. So at Belgium, at Salle de Charlemagne, they brought the last year $100 billion grants, the one who won.
100 billion?
Million each.
Yeah.
Four companies, each receiving 100 million, were in front of me, presenting what they did. That's so innovative, really out of the box innovation. The beauty about it, the moment they got the 100 million, all the European banks, the big banks, EBRD, EIF, KfW, on the second year gave them subsidized loan for billions.
Good.
One of them, related to our topic, is the first hydrogen-powered steel factory in Sweden.
Wow.
Their first round of investment after 100 was $6.5 billion from European banks. So what does this mean? You are credible. The moment you receive Innovation Fund or Horizon, the financial sector know that you passed the entire de-risking, testing, everything you want to think about has been done by your commission, and you're ready for the market. What we are facing here in the MENA region, that the investors don't know about this, that they'll go get the grant. I cannot get the grant alone. You need to not invest, commit with me the first phase. At the same time, I have to scout for main industries, main partners who are the consortium, like big universities, big industrials, to be my partners to apply. What I've done so far is get the partners.
Who?
I don't know if it's wise or advisable to name publicly, but I will tell you what kind of partners they are without mentioning their name.
Yeah.
So I have the leading aquaculture university in Europe, which is based in Crete, with me. I have the main naval architecture school in Greece, my partner. I have one of the main agriculture schools in Italy. I have a main energy company in Paris, a main hydrogen technology developer in Paris, a main consultancy on hydrogen maritime sector in Monaco, one of the main liquid hydrogen storage developer in Spain. They use it for telecommunication.
Liquid hydrogen storage.
I have two of the best universities in Lebanon working with us. So this is the nature of the consortium.
That's already a good size consortium.
Yeah, so the partners are there. We are signing some agreement with the large shipyards and large yachting experts. This takes a bit longer to address. You have to understand it's a very slow to change market. Where you're talking the maritime sector, everything takes time to adapt.
What is the, once this is approved, and I see you how you are very perseverant and you are going about it in the right way. Once this is approved, let's say, what do you aim to achieve with this starting structure for the Mediterranean maritime sector, and then how can we replicate that in other areas?
I'm happy you mentioned approval. So also part of, not our partner, but the ecosystem working in, is the best two marine classification societies in the world. One is, both are based in North Europe, although I cannot mention the names, but both are seriously involved, and we had a number of meetings on both the mobility side and the fuel side. And maybe here it's good to address the searing in more commercial
like
terms.
what will it offer, what will it solve as problems, and what its obstacles are going to be.
So we are addressing first the yachting sector, because this is the first sector to shift. The attractive side of hydrogen for the yachting sector is the silent nature and the clean. So you're on a yacht, you're already on recreation mode, on tourism. You don't want to hear a diesel engine or have a leakage or have emissions. So the yachting sector, especially with the French Plan Bleu, the French 2 years ago made something called the Plan Bleu. It's a plan for the Mediterranean to decarbonize. And already in the Med,
for how many years is it set?
For 5 years. You already have some zones that you cannot bring any boat. It must be a green boat. And when I was in Nice at the research center for the Pole de Mediterranee in June, I discovered that in the Mediterranean yacht manufacturer, in the coming 2 years, there'll be 15,000 hybrid hydrogen boats. So you have 15,000 cars, let's say, boats at sea. They need to refuel. And to date, there is one refueling station in Greece, in Perama, one in Monaco, which is a car that comes every now and then for a show, something very basic. And there is one in Marseille, which is the leading one, the first one. There is no hydrogen refueling station.
Okay.
And there is no green hydrogen enough in Europe because there is no green energy to make hydrogen from. So our first solution is delivering green hydrogen outside the marina for the yachting sector. We are solving a number of problems. First, safety issues. Hydrogen is dangerous. Let's agree on this by itself. It's volatile, explodes. Okay. So to bring a hydrogen truck across a city, to get it to a marina, you need escort and permissions. And it's very expensive. 1/3 of the cost of hydrogen is the transport cost, whether by pipeline or by car. So by making hydrogen locally, outside the marina, in a searing, we are cutting 1/3 of the cost. By sourcing it locally, we are decentralizing the energy production. And this is something main for anyone who has an energy company, whether a refueling station for cars or a gas station or a petroleum on a large scale. Decentralizing energy is something very essential. Each and every marina can have its own energy source 500 meters outside the marina without having to buy energy from anywhere. You have your wave system, your wind system, your solar system, and you're making your own energy, hydrogen. You're storing it to sell or to refuel yachts. At the same time, I am making the yacht. So I have two startups. It's a bit strange when I say it, and why two startups at the same time? Because the sea is very organized, and the law, maritime law, is so specific, and the maritime societies are so strict. I cannot pass a hydrogen station and a hydrogen boat in the same company. They have to be separated. The financing mechanism is different, the grant structure is different, the legal setup is completely different. So I have two companies addressing the same problem from two sides.
Definitely. But then this way you will understand what each one needs.
Exactly. So I have a boat, Mina, which is a wingsail solar hydrogen boat. We'll talk about it at the end. But our main topic, let it be the floating hydrogen. And I have the searing, which is the hydrogen platform. So we are solving the mobility issue, we are solving the transport issue, and we are decentralizing hydrogen and selling it at a premium cost at the marina. And the marina can itself buy the entire unit and sell its own hydrogen.
Each marina.
Each marina.
So in different countries?
In different countries. Now there is two ways to address this. You can address it very simply by saying, I'm going to make the searing and I'm going to find the marina, sell it to the marina. End of story. Or we can sell it in a more complex investment by creating an energy company, owning the searings all over the world and selling the energy part and the services. So the floating hydrogen port company is already incorporated.
So you would basically give them the searing and you would
by
offer
lease agreement.
As a lease.
And I will sell refueling, I will sell fish, I will sell tourism, as you mentioned. I will sell the full services package. This is smarter on the long term, but more capex intensive.
Harder to
Not use another term.
Let us talk a bit about the market here in the MENA region, and then tackle the local investors. Like, tell us a bit, how is this industry going? Like, let's say around the Gulf and MENA.
تنحكي بالعربي شوي تنغير.
يلا.
اوكي. المنطقة فيها أكثر من مشروع رائد بالهيدروجين. مرفأ الدقم بسلطنة عمان.
فاجأتني.
منيح، خبرية حلوة. مرفأ الدقم بسلطنة عمان مرشح يكون من أول مرافق الهيدروجين بالعالم. والفريق التقني بالهيدروجين بعمان كتير متقدم. اليوم عم تعمل مشروع كتير كبير بالهيدروجين، مش أخضر بس من توابعه. قناة السويس عم تتطلع يكون عندها التاك بوتس على الهيدروجين تصير كل خدمة جرين هيدروجين. وفي كتير أفضل بلاتفورم هيدروجين اللي هي هاج انتليجنس، هني بارتنرز معنا بالكونسورتيوم بمصر. وفي عندك مصدر بالإمارات عملت انفستمنت ببولندا بمراوح لتعمل هيدروجين بالمي، شيء قريب لنا كمان. ففي بالمنطقة بلشوا يفوتوا على الموضوع. بالخليج منا شوي زملائنا العرب يوثقوا بالصناعة العربي واللبناني. مش دايما نفتش على براند أوروبية بس لأنها أوروبية. هيدي شوي عم بتكون بارير صعب لأنه بس عم نقدم البراند باسم لبناني أو عربي بيكون في نقزة إنه شيء جديد. مشان هلا أنا الشركة اسمها يوناني موجود باليونان، تا شوي.
ومعك كتير بالكونسورتيوم شركات أجنبية يعني
معظمها ما في حدا غيري هون. يعني للأسف بتمنى يكون في حدا غيري يشتغل معه، بس المعظم بيشتغل معهم بلبنان جامعات، بس كل الشركات أجنبية، ما في حدا باللي عم بيشتغلوا قدر يتعامل معه.
وبرأيك بتلاقي فرص إنه to replicate هيدا البروجكت بالخليج مثلا أو
بالخليج؟ عنا مئات الماريناز وعنا قطاع يخوت كتير كبير وبيحبوا الجديد وبيحبوا الجرينينج. بس مجرد ما يصير في يخت على الهيدروجين بالخليج بدك الريفيلينج ستيشن، فجو ان لاين. وبالقطاع السياحي شغله كتير مهضومه، يكون عندك فلوتينج بلاتفورم عليها اوتيل عليها فيلا، سوق لحاله بالخليج. بس شوي يعني هلا عم نركز على اوروبا اكثر لانه المناخ الاستثماري باوروبا اوضح.
وبركي جاهز اكثر
صحيح. حابب اختم شوي على موضوع الموبيليتي.
يس بليز.
مينا هو كاتاماران بوت powered by a wingsail، يعني شراع شكله مثل جناح الطيارة. هالجناح الطيارة عليه سولار بانلز. كونه بالبحر ما في يكون عندك جناح طيارة دائما واقف أو شراع واقف، بده يكون إذا في هواء أو في عاصفة بدك تضبي. فعملنا تلسكوبيك سيستم، لما يكون في عاصفة قوية بنضب الشراع، ولما يكون الهواء بيسمح نحن يخت شراعي. لما يكون في شمس نحن يخت على الطاقة الشمسية. ولما يكون ما في هواء ما في شمس نحن يخت الهيدروجين. ما حركز كتير على الموضوع، يمكن أوضح في فيديو محطوط على لينكدين أو اليوتيوب اللي بيحب بيفوت أكتر على التكنولوجيا. بس أنا عم معالج موضوع الهيدروجين بالبحر من الموبيليتي، يعني المركب، وهالمكتب في يكون يخت وفي يكون باخر الكونتينرز بعد 10 سنين. هي المهم وهي الأساسي، لأنه 18% من انبعاثات العالم هي من القطاع البحري. وكلهم 100,000 مركب، مش عم يحكي خطوط صغيرة، عم بحكي المراكب الشحن الكبيرة. فإذا بدنا نحل المشكلة بنكون حلينا جزء كبير من الانبعاثات بسوق صغير ومنظم. في
بس اطلاع يحولوا بواخر الشحن على هيدروجين.
بالبيكامي فاينانس فورم كان في سايد بانل فيها الأربع شركات اللي هي مسيطرة على قطاع الشحن بالعالم، واحدة منها مؤسسة لبناني. فالحلو بالسايد بانل إنه الأربعتهم عم بيفتشوا على شو أفضل حل، يعني بعد ما إنه واضح الحل كأنه ميثانول ولا هيدروجين ولا أمونيا. بس المضحك إنه الثلاثة بدهم هيدروجين، يعني إذا بدك ميثانول أو أمونيا بدك تعمل هيدروجين بالأول. فالهيدروجين هو حل الثلاثة. فالسوق عم يتجه لهالحل ونحن اليوم عم رائدين بهالحل. يعني MENA is a leading solution in decarbonizing mobility at sea. And we already have a prototype and we're already funding our pilot project.
So, Sumer, as what we get from this really amazing and interesting discussion, there are so many things to invest in the future. The future is showing so many options for renewable energy. It's not only about solar panels, right? Like, what is your take on that?
So I want to look at this not as doing green for green. It's very important. We are creating a comprehensive marine sustainable ecosystem, including the energy side, the food, which is aquaculture, and the coastal tourism. This integration, although makes a complexity, but the beauty is this complexity. Exactly. So we are looking at sustainability from a broad term, with a long-term vision, with a growth that is beyond anything we have seen before. The entire sea, which is 2/3 of the world, is our market.
Yeah.
And we can build all of this from Lebanon. Nice. All we need is about 1 square kilometer at sea, which is available. Instead of opening a nightclub or another banana plantation, we can have a most modern shipyard powered by the latest green molecule, which is economical, feasible, and can hire thousands of local specialized expertise.
Amazing.
This is what we're heading for.
That's a great summary.
And I really invite the prime investors, banks in Lebanon to sit down and talk and understand what I'm babbling about in full details. Mm-hmm. It's worth it. We convinced the European side, which is even more difficult for me.
What is the kind of the time frame like for the ROI, if you want briefly?
Okay, so
years,
the technology years. Development to have a pilot is it's very short in my case. In less than a year, if I have the money today, in 1 year I can deploy at sea. This is very short.
For the searing?
For the searing and for the boat. For both.
No.
For the searing, in 3 months I can deploy.
No.
3 months. I can manufacture and put in water in 3 months. I have the money in my pocket today. And we're talking very small numbers. When I say $2 million, $3 million in the maritime sector, this is absurdly low. Typically, a seed round maritime sector is $10 to $15 million in Europe. I'm asking for $2-3 million because I'm doing this in Lebanon because of the cost here.
Yes.
The ROI is 3 to 4 years. So we're looking at 4 to 5 years entire. This is a short-term ROI in energy sector. So trust in what we're doing, get to know the team, and would love to have a lunch, a tea, a nice walk with the investors in town to tell them what we're talking about as we had a nice chat with you.
Great. Thank you so much, Sumer. We will do our best in any way to support. And I'm going to share all the links that you provided and will show you a quick video at the end. So thank you for being here.
I'm happy to be the first on this new table.
Yes.
I'm happy to see an iconic boat on the table.
And to our viewers, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode of the Industrial Kingdom podcast, and make sure to follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and check the links below. Bye.
Bye.